Um, okay, yeah. Probably you can have a guess what's this? What is this background? Okay. Yes, this is an inscription. Yeah. Today is actually our 50th online class. This is we already done quite a lot. Today is actually our 50th class. So uh, so thank you so much that uh, you have shown me your interest and you have supported the online class for such a long time, and I'm really grateful for that. And I will continue offering the online Indo-European classes as long as you have interest and find the class useful. Okay, so today is our Greek class. I think it's 8th Greek class, right? And as I have explained earlier, we are going to, of course, talk about first the grammar. Yeah. 纪念版, yeah, okay, yeah. And then we probably would continue reading some text, but during the explanation of grammar, I will, of course, explain some, I will, of course, use some during the explanation of grammar, I will, of course, use some examples from the Greek corpus. And this is actually one of them. And we're going to read the inscription today. Yeah. And also the Homeric Greek, of course. Yeah. Okay, so probably let's start. So let's begin with a question. So first question is a very simple one. Yeah. And okay. So the first question, it is actually probably you need to know some Chinese. Yeah. So first question is a true or false question. Yeah. Okay. So tell me your answer. So English seat. The meaning is so English seat meaning is 坐. Yeah. Okay. So tell me your answer. Is it true or false? 就你们不要故意选那个按照我猜测或者是按照我的那种想法的 just choose what you think. And this is important because I want to know what is your impression or what is your answer. 就是英语 sit 这个词，它的意思，我说它的意思是坐，没有人怀疑，对不对 ？OK， 好。Okay, then we can continue. Yeah. Okay, someone choose false. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's really interesting. Yeah. And we will talk about later. Yeah. Okay. Meaning. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Yes, but I just want to know what you really think. Do not think from my angle, right? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, then let's turn to the second question. I'm sure that some of you have used public transportation, like a subway or a bus or any other vehicles. And you will always hear something like that, 请给需要帮助的乘客让个座, something like that, right? Offer your seat to someone who need help, right? This is quite a common, yeah. And my question is, If you want to offer your seat to someone, what do you really say in Chinese? You don't need to answer. I put my answer and you can tell me true or false. Yeah. So I would say, I think nobody would, well, my Chinese is not that good, but this is not wrong, right? So you would always, this is really true, right? So you would always say 请坐 or 您请坐, right? So this is true, right? Okay. Next one, what should we say in English? So what do we say in English? First one, sit down, please. Yeah. Right? Okay. The second one, yeah, have a seat, right? Have a seat, yeah. And third one, seat, yeah. We would usually say, right, sit down, please, right? Or have a seat. Or have a seat. But really, I have a seat, right? Yeah. Does anyone say, or does anyone think the third one is better? I think nobody would think this one is better. Nobody, right? We would usually say, sit down, please, or have a seat, right? Okay. And then comes the question. If seat, if Chinese, or if English, seat equals Chinese 坐, how should we translate 请坐? Sit, please, or please sit, right? Yeah, this is fine, yeah, right? Right? Yeah. So 你们发现有什么问题了吗？就是 why if English seat equals Chinese 坐 and 请坐 usually you would translate 请坐 as sit please, but you will not say that. You would say sit down please, right? Okay, so this is something a little bit uncomfortable, right? Okay, let's talk about German. Yeah. So what do we say in German if we want to? So what do we say? What do we say in English? And then what do we say in German if we want to tell someone to have a seat? Okay, choose. You can. Okay, great. I still want to make a multiple choice. Yeah. So someone has already written the answer. Yeah. So in German, we would always say setzen Sie sich. Yeah. Okay. And we would not say sitzen. Like if you check a German dictionary, right? So this is pretty simple. So I choose a German English dictionary and I put seat. And you would see here, sitzen, right? So seat usually we would translate seat as sitzen. Yeah. Okay, this is very kind of how do you say that? We would say so English seat means sitzen, and we would not say in German sitzen, bitte sitzen. Yeah, this is quite weird. So this is quite weird. We would not say bitte sitzen. Yeah. Yes, so this is actually the correct answer. Okay, so what is the problem? Yeah. You see the problem, right? You see it is, so at the very beginning, I told you, or you all agree that English seat means Chinese 坐, right? And if you want to offer your seat to someone in a bus or in a subway, you would say 请坐 or 您请坐, right? But in English, you would say sit down, please, but not sit, please, right? So, and Chinese 请坐 is certainly, if you translate literally, one word by word, it should mean sit, please. But why? Yeah, the two correct expressions in Chinese and in English, they do not correspond exactly to each other, right? 你们需要我用中文解释一个？应该不用吧？就是我觉得应该都可以理解吧。OK， 就是中文里面就英语不用。OK， 好。And then the German is even more unfamiliar, because in German they use a very interesting expression. It's called setzen Sie sich. We would not say in German bitte sitzen or sitzen. Yeah, but probably if someone talks to his dog, I have heard this sitzen only when someone is talking to his dog and he wants the dog to sit down. Yeah, okay. But usually, if you talk to a human being, you would say setzen Sie sich. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So then let's move on. Can anyone tell me the Sanskrit word for seat? Sorry. What is the Sanskrit word for seat? Sanskrit root. Yeah, root. Sanskrit root for seat. Not stand. Not stand. Seat. Yeah. Sanskrit root. Verbal root for seat. I think you must know that, right? Can anyone tell me the Sanskrit root for seat? Well, if you don't know, if you don't know, which dictionary should we check? Great. So which dictionary, if you don't know, I mean, it's great that someone has already written the answer, but if you don't know, which dictionary should we check? You can check this dictionary. I have shown you. So this is Aptus English Sanskrit dictionary. So you put seat here, and then you have the answer, sat, right? So this is Sanskrit root for right. Okay, so this is a Sanskrit root. So you can check after, yeah. So the after English Sanskrit dictionary. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so Sanskrit root. So Sanskrit sat, right? Okay. And then okay. So then comes a question. What is present of sat? If we want to check the information of the present of sat, what is the form of the present of sat? So we should go to the dictionary, right? So I think you can get information on every Sanskrit dictionary. It's pretty easy. So I put sat here, and then check it. So this is Yes, nisidati, yeah, or sidati, right? So you have the sidat here, yeah, okay. So this is a present, right? And how can we analyze the present? Seat. So seat actually comes from the Sanskrit seat comes from s plus and st. This is the reduplicated present. So this is the reduplicated present. Okay. Is it clear until now? Is any question for this part? I think everything is clear, right? Yes. Okay. Clear. Okay. So let's move on. Again, Chinese. 做 is it durative or punctual or seat? Is the meaning seat durative or punctual? Both. It is really interesting. Yeah. You think it's both? Okay. Okay. So you think seat is both durative and punctual. This is actually not allowed in Indo-European languages. You have to choose one. Yeah. So someone says that it is punctual, right? Okay. It is punctual. So seat is punctual. Okay. Yeah. 就是你坐在一个地方，你会认为坐没有，我说的是坐 sit， 没有说 sit down。Yeah, I'm not talking about sit down. Yeah, so you say that. So I'm not talking about not sit down. Yeah, yeah. I'm not talking about sit down. Yeah, not 坐下。Yeah, yeah. Okay, so this is durative, right? So sit is durative. You sit there. I sit under the tree. Yeah. You think that it is punctual? So what about I stand? I stand under the tree, right? So in these two cases, stand and sit, are they punctual? 好奇怪，你们为什么？等一下，你们能不能用正常的逻辑 ？OK， 就是 I'm talking about something usual, something normal 你们不要总是揣测我的那个，我好像是想给你们一个坑，然后所以你们要故意按照你们想象的反的方向来选。就你坐在那儿，不是 I sit under the tree， 或者 I sit beside， 不就是你们按照自己正常的逻辑去想，就是正常的日常行为的，就是you just thinking English, right? You don't need to guess my intention. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's just check this sentence. I sit under the tree and I stand under the tree. Yeah. Oh, okay. So sit. Okay, I just delete Chinese. Yeah. So let's delete Chinese. Chinese a little bit confusing, right? So let's delete Chinese. Yeah. Okay. So I think you all agree that sit is a durative, right? Okay. Yes. Okay. So sit. So let's check it. So let's put everything together. So sit is a durative action, right? And seat in Sanskrit is sat, right? Okay. So it means that sat is durative, right? So it means that sat is durative, right? Okay. I think it's clear. Sit is a durative action in English, in English. And sit in Sanskrit is sat, right? And sat is durative. Okay. And then comes a question. If sat is durative, why reduplicated? 大家还记得我之前说过的问题吗？就是持续性的动词，就一个动作如果是持续性的，你要构成现在时的话，就直接可以用这个词根，对不对 ？OK。但是为什么这里 Sanskrit is a durative, is a reduplicated present? Okay. So where is the problem? 大家能明白这个问题吗？就是 sit 如果的动作是一个持续性的动作，然后呢，我们刚才又查了，梵语字典，那个梵语字典里面，sit 词根是 sad，对不对？好，所以我们可以认为 sad 是一个 durative，对不对？好，如果 sad 是一个 durative，那我们为什么还要进行重构呢？为什么还要进行重复呢？就相当于我们为什么要说蹦蹦跳跳呢？就是因为蹦和跳是瞬时的，对不对？所以你要重叠。So jump, jump. In Chinese, we would say jump, jump, and jump, jump, jump. We would reduplicate it, reduplicate because jump is actually a punctual action. But sit is not a punctual. Sit is durative. But why? For a durative root, we need a reduplicated present. Yeah. Okay. The question is, this part is problematic. In Sanskrit, sat does not correspond to sit. Sat So this is what I want to say today. English sat is not equal to English, Sanskrit sat is not equal to English sit. Okay, and let's recall this verb, star. Well, today is a Greek class, and I will move on to Greek. Don't worry. Yeah. Stand, right? And we would usually translate star as stand, right? Is it right? Is it really? Is it really so? Star really equals stand. Is it true or false? I think I talked about this question, this root, some time ago. Yeah. No, this is not true. Yeah, it's false. Yeah, it's false because in Sanskrit we build a reduplicated, and also in Greek. In Greek, it's called histemi, and in Sanskrit, it's called tishtati, right? So in Sanskrit, you would say tishtati. Yeah. Yeah. It means stand is not equal to star. Sanskrit star does not equal is not equal to English stand, because star actually means sich hinstellen. So sich hinstellen means that you put oneself in some place, yeah, in some place, yeah. Okay, so star is a punctual. So star is punctual. Okay. Therefore, the original meaning is actually put oneself in a place, in specific place. And then the root set originally comes, of course, PIE set. And this root originally does not mean seat or sitzen. It means sich setzen. Just like in German, I already mentioned. What do I say in German? Yeah, sich setzen Sie sich. So set originally means sich setzen. Sich setzen, if you put in English, it means settle oneself in some place, in some place, yeah. So this is also punctual meaning, yeah. But then sit is durative, right? Sit is really durative, yeah. But what is the relationship between sit and set? What is the relation between sit and set? So what is the relationship between sit, English sit, and set? Let's check the English dictionary. So it's pretty easy, right? Okay, so you find English sit here. So it's already in. So the forms, right? Let's check it. So this is modern English, right? And what is the old English form? It's sitan. And also you check. Oh, it's a long list of the forms. So let's probably. Oh, it's too long, right? Okay, wait a minute. I need to show less. Sorry, there are too many forms. Sit is quite popular, yeah. Okay, so let's check the forms here. So English, Old English is called sitan with double T. This is very important. And then Old Frisian is called sitan, also with double T, right? And let's check probably, I'm not sure, is there Gothic? Yeah, Gothic. Gothic is here. Gothic is called sitan, but it comes from the Germanic form, sitian. So actually, English sit comes, of course, from Old English sitan, and Old English sitan comes from Germanic. Oh, sorry. So it comes from Germanic sitian, and sitian, and I will explain later. So this is actually a ya present. A short vowel followed by double consonant, long vowel followed by single consonant. What do you mean? Yeah. Okay, I continue. Yeah. Okay, so we actually know English sit is not a root present. It is actually ya present with a ya here. And let's check the dictionary finally. So let's check the dictionary. Live. This is a very oh, wait a minute. Okay, yeah, here, this is a root called set, but set does not mean sit. It means this lesson, put yourself or settle yourself in some place. And then this is the reason why we have a root aorist. So this root, PIE, set, is punctual. It means wait a minute. So it means settle oneself in some place. And then it is punctual, and therefore we have a root aorist. So it's just like settle yourself，就是用中文说的话，你就就是把自己放置在一个地方，就把自己安置在一个地方，就是所谓坐的话，实际上就是你把自己的身体放在一个东西的表面上，对不对？大概是这样。Put yourself on the surface of a seat, right? So this is the action of set. But seat is actually a state. So you stay there. 就是英语的 sit 这个词实际上是坐着，就是如果要中文的话 ，so to be specific, English sit should be translated as 坐着 ，yes. And it is actually be seated, right? It is actually be seated, yeah. 所以呢，这就是为什么我们在说您请坐的时候，中文那个坐事实上是一个顺时性的动作，实际上是入座的意思。So actually, that's English. That's English. 中文如果一定要把它翻译的非常准确的话，应该叫请入座，应该是这样的，请入座，大概是这样的一个翻译，就不能说，就是中文的请坐当然是可以说的，但中文的请坐的意思实际上是请入座，大概是这样的意思，就是 settle yourself in a seat， so settle yourself on a seat， 大概是这样的意思。OK， 好，明白这个之后，那我们就要来看一下希腊语的情况。所以它在构成现在时的时候 ，so in order to build a present, we need a reduplicated present because the root is actually a punctual root, but present is a continuous, like not complicated, not not completed. It's a continuous action. So we need a reduplication. So it's just like the case of 蹦蹦跳跳, just like this one. Yeah. So you need a reduplicated present. Okay. Okay. 好，我们待会儿接下来再去讨论英语的那个 sit down 啊，那是另外一个问题。So we will talk about sit down later. Yeah, it's another question. Yeah. And now let's check first the Greek because we actually have a Greek class today. So the Greek form. So you know English sit is a ya present. So this is a very important information. So keep this in mind. English sit comes from, wait a minute. So English sit actually comes from a ya present. Okay. And then let's talk about Greek. So what is the Greek form? Greek form is here. You have already seen here. So Greek is called heteto, right? So this is Greek. Yeah. So this is Greek called heteto, right? So I put it in transcription. It's called headzeto, right? Can anyone tell me this headzeto is so it is a root aorist, right? So you have it here. So so this heads. First question. Where how to say that the origin of heads? Yeah. Pay attention. This is heads. Yeah. Okay. So first, so this is so we need a root. We need a root aorist, right? Okay. Need a root aorist. So what is the origin of these heads? So question one. Answer one. Sorry. Answer one. So it is from set, right? And set, the S becomes aspirated sound, and then we have heads. The second, okay, so this set, right? So first we have set, right? And then the S at the beginning becomes aspiration. So this is what we really expect, right? And then this is a Z, and what is the origin of Greek? Z. Greek Z comes from which one? Can anyone tell me? Like Zeus, like. So what is the origin of this Z?你们有没有睡着吧？还是你们在思考问题？还是网络有点问题？啊，你们应该没事吧？在思考吗 ？OK，就为什么那个希腊语当中，刚才卡啊？OK，OK，好吧，果然回到你被卡出去了啊，好吧，怎么办？我要把这个问题再重复一遍吗？你们都被卡出去了吗？好可怜，哎，怎么办？OK，好，那个我再重复一遍，就是就希腊语的那个形式叫那个 heteto， 对不对？heteto 我把它转写一下，大概是这样的一个形式。然后呢，我们知道它是一个 root aorist， the root aorist 我们就把这个 root 拿出来，so this is actually the root. This is the root aorist, so this is the root. And then set becomes head. So it looks quite similar, right? But why we have a z here? So this is a little bit weird, right? And z in Greek, we really expect a deer, right? So this would say that it comes from a deer. But then again, this is a root aorist. We would not put a year, would not put a year here. So this is not the case. Yeah. So the real case is that the Greek heteto actually come from the augment a plus the zero grade. So it's actually augment plus zero grade. Okay, and the augment is actually the a, right? And zero grade, you delete the a in between, so you have a z, yeah, all right? And then you can get a you can get a wait a minute, and then you can get a x. So this is actually how we get the and then the aspiration he is secondarily borrowed from the present, because the present, as we have seen, the present is called, wait a minute, present is called ceased. Yeah. Okay, so present is called ceased, and this ceased goes, if in Greek, it is actually he, s become he, and st becomes a z, right? So then we have it's a little bit loud. Now it's heat. Yeah, this is the reason why we have heat in present, and then this aspiration is borrowed from the present to the aorist. So this is a reason why we have in Greek called heteton. Okay. Then, what is actually the root for seat? So as I have explained, set does not mean seat, right? But in Indo-European languages, do we really have a root for seat? So what is the root for seat in first in Sanskrit, right? Let's probably let's first check Sanskrit. So what is the root for seat in Sanskrit? 你们是不是都很卡？因为我看你们好像没有什么反应，我没有什么feedback，是真的很卡吗？哦 ，OK，好吧，OK，哦，这样 ，OK。So let's check the Sanskrit again. So in Sanskrit, if we want to 哦，我问问题的时候都卡吗？哇，真是，好，看来我不应该问问题。Okay, so again we check seat. So actually we indeed have a seat here. Yes, so this is actually the root seat in Sanskrit. Yes. Okay. So this is actually the root as. So as is the real root for seat, and this is the durative. Okay. And this is the reason why actually in Sanskrit and also in Greek we have a suppletion between set and as. So this is the case not only in Sanskrit, but also in Greek. So what is the correspondence of as in Greek? So I think we can check it. Wait a minute. So this goes actually back to Proto-Indo-European haze. So this is a double. Check it. So this is a double H1. So haze means sitzen. So sitzen is indeed so just like English seat, German sitzen, they are all durative, and this is the reason why. First of, let's finish this. So in Indo-European languages, we indeed have a root for seat, and it is called haze. And this haze is preserved in Vedic. It's called aste. Check it. This is a root present. And to be specific, it is a stative. Stative means a state. So Sanskrit is stative. Yeah. Okay. And for stative in Sanskrit, there's a very important book you can use. I can show you. So it's written by Martin Kumar, stative. So this is a book you should use called Stative and Passive Aorist in Indo-Iranian. Yeah. So this is a book. Yeah. Okay. And then we also have in Greek called astai. So the form, this is Vedic, and then this is Greek called astai. So this is again very good correspondence between Greek and Sanskrit. So this is perfect. I mean, the correspondence is perfect. Greek, Sanskrit, te goes back to tai. Yeah, te. Yeah, tai. Yeah. And then as corresponds to ace, and this ace is actually a long. So this eta, so here this eta is actually long. Sorry, it's a long eta. Yeah, but in some cases, eta can be a long a, but in Doric it's distinguished. Okay, so this is actually this root, and let's move on. We will talk about another. We can actually check some instances of sat if you are not sure Sanskrit Vedic sat. So let's check sat. So if we want to check the forms of sat, let's use the Vedic dictionary. So we click, wait a minute. So we use the dictionary by Glassman dictionary to Rigveda. So this is a mistake. There's a double N. So it is not M-A-N, but actually M-A-N-N. Yeah, it's double N. Yeah. Okay, so let's check sat here. And then you find the information here. There's a lot of information. And there's a occurrences. There's an occurrence here. So called sada, we need this stem. And sadas, this is actually the, wait a minute. This is actually the form here. So let's just check this form. Vedic subjunctive 虚拟式 sadatas. So it is a subjunctive to the root aorist. And then let's check the verse where sadatas occurs. And then let's find it. So it is in this verse, right? 5:76, 2, right? So this is the verse. Ayat yonim hiranyayam varuna mitra sadatach dartara charshaninam yantam sumnam rishadasa. Okay, so this is a Rigveda verse, Vedic verse, and then let's check the translation, or let's check the meaning. Okay, so you can see the English translation is not correct. So we should not say, so yeah, let's translate one by one. So yat means if. It is not actually the, it is a relative pronoun, relative pronoun, neuter, 中性，就是中性关系代词，对。And it can sometimes mean when, if, or something like that. Yeah. Okay. So if or when, this is the verb, and the verb sadatas. So the sadatas is actually second person plural. So it is second person plural. So you two, you two, what should they do? Yonin hiranyayam. So in this golden dwelling place, dwelling place or shores. So if you two settle yourself in this golden place, and then you should give felicity, or so if you two settle yourself, Varuna and Mitra, Yoni means the dwelling place, the shores, English, German shores, called, it's like the mother, how do you say that? Mother womb? I don't know the exact English translation, but you can understand it like a dwelling place, 就是怀抱或者是位置地方，大概这样的意思。Hiranyayam golden. So if you settle yourself in this golden dwelling place of Varuna and Mitra, and then Dhartara, the supporter, the erhalter, you hold something from the root dar. Dar means to hold. It's the same root as dharma. Yeah. Okay, so this is tar suffix. So check it here. So it comes from the root dar, means hold or support. And then with this tar suffix, so this tar suffix means the agent noun. Yeah, okay, great. So someone who holds, someone who supports, so supporters, yeah. And supporters of charshaninam. So what is charshaninam? Charshaninam, actually this is genitive plural, right? From charshani, and charshani means the people or folk, but originally it means actually the border. The border, or in German it's called Grenze. Yeah. So someone who live inside the border, inside a specific place, and this is people. Yeah. So supporters of the people. And then yamtam. Yamtam means actually to offer, to give. So it's yam plus tam, and this yam comes from yam. And yam, you find it in the dictionary that in German it's called gewähren, gewähren, like to offer or to bestow, 就授予，大概这样的意思，授予。OK。And then 授予什么呢？那个苏玛囊呀，就是felicity 或者是幸运啊、幸福、好的，大概这样的意思。And then this is a title. It has several interpretations, but we can take it as something who is high above, überlegender, or false slayer. So überlegend means that you conquer something. So someone who is higher and someone who can conquer others. Yeah. Überlegen. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So then we know the root should not mean sit, because sit actually means durative action. It's not that the two gods are continually sitting there. It means that once they kind of settle themselves in this place, and then they will do something. So this is a punctual action. 就大家能明白，就是这里不能翻译成坐着，就是不能说如果他们一直坐着的话，就听起来非常诡异，对不对？就相当于你在公交车上让座，实际上是说请坐，就是 take， 就是坐下这个意思，对吧？这不是说请一直坐着，非常诡异，对吧？就是你给别人这样让座的时候，不是说请一直坐着，不是这样说的，对吧？应该是一个顺时性的动作，请坐。请坐的意思实际上是坐下这个动作，就是 take the seat，so， 对吧？这个大家能明白吧？所以说这里也是一样的，就是它并不是说如果他们一直坐着，一直坐着，持续的坐着在什么地方，而是说如果他们占据了或者到达这个位置之后，so settle themselves in a specific place, and then they can offer or they can bestow this felicity. Yeah. 就大家能明白我想表达的意思吗？就是这个就是瞬时和那个持续性动作的差别。所以说我们在印欧语当中是存在两个词根的，一个词根呢叫set。This is the reason why we have in Indo-European languages set and this class a little bit complicated. 能明白吧？set 对，是。所以这是两个关系互补的一个词，就是这个是瞬时性的 ，so this is punctual, and this one is durative. 好吧，那个我们休息一下，然后我们去看那个另外一个，在希腊语当中会比较比较复杂的一个词，就是我们去看一下，我们待会儿来看一看这个词，就是这个词是希腊语当中经常为什么 s 这么大？哪里 s？ 在哪？就是我们休息几分钟，然后我们来看一看希腊语的这个词，然后看这个词的时候，我们就需要读一些文本了。刚才就是纯粹语法，然后现在需要利用我们刚才那个学到的语法，然后来看一看这个词。OK，就是其实就一直在讨论那个瞬时和持续这两种问题，就是因为存在词根不同的含义。So we have different meanings for different roots, and then comes suppletion. This is the reason why. Okay, set is a punctual root, and hes is durative. And set we have in Greek called hits. This is the reason why present in Greek is a reduplicated present, and the aorist is called hetzeton. So this is root aorist. But this has is actually, wait a minute. So has is actually root present. Root present. 就是希望大家能明白这个差别在哪里，就是因为它是一个瞬时性的词根，所以呢需要用 root aorist。然后呢，因为这个是一个 durative 的词根，所以呢我们需要用一个 root present。这就是这样。 OK， 好，大概是这样的。对，作源自作，职也，从土啊。OK， 好，可以。那个我们休息一下。Sanskrit, it's just the same. Yeah. So the Sanskrit, let's check the Sanskrit. So Sanskrit is also, so in Sanskrit we have sadas, right? We have already checked. This is also root aorist, right? And the present, we have sidas. We have sidati, right? And this sit, take a look, this sit and this eat, yeah, this all go back to a reduplicated. Yeah. And in Sanskrit, it's also aste, and this is also root present. And it is actually a stative, like a state, because this is a state. This is durative, so we have a state. So this is actually the distribution of these two roots. Okay. And the English seat is actually a ya present, or ye. It is a ya present, and ya present usually can mean some state, right? So this ya present, 就是梵语的第几类啊？梵语的第六类吗？我其实忘记具体数字第几类了。但梵语也有个 ya present， 对不对？是这个第四类嘛？啊 ，OK， 第六类是 tudati 对吧？第六类是 tudati 啊，就是are present。Okay, so this is I think 6. Okay, so this is for the first hour, and we will continue to discuss this root, alchemy, and we will also check the meaning. Okay, so let's make a stop, and I will stop recording. Okay. Okay. 好啊，我们讲吧。Okay, so we can start, and I first use English, and then I explain Chinese, because it's a little bit complicated, and it's probably unfamiliar for most of you. And then let's talk about, let's go back to sit down. Let's go back to English, sit down. And we have already mentioned that during the process of offering your seat to someone, this is actually a punctual action. It's not a durative. So you tell someone to take your seat. So this is a punctual. You cannot continuously, so someone cannot continuously taking your seat. 就是你把座位让给别人，就是你让别人坐下，或者你让座这个过程，就是你说啊，你请坐，这事实上是一个瞬时性的动作，对吧？因为你不可能持续性的让一个人占据你的座位，对吧？所以说sit down，所以说你让座这个过程本身是一个瞬时性的过程，好吧？好，那问题就来了 ，sit， we would say, sit down, please, right? So during the process of offering your seat to someone, you say, sit down, please, right? And then sit down is a punctual action. But sit is a durative action. So why? Why sit is durative, but sit down is punctual? What is the problem? What happened here? 大家能明白我的问题？大家能明白我的问题吗？就是 sit 这个词我们已经说过了，它本质上是来自那个 Germanic， 就是日耳曼语的一个，对，就是中文嘛，中文你可以这么说嘛，但是 we're not talking about Chinese, yeah, we're talking about Indo-European languages, yeah, so Chinese is not relevant here, yeah. So this comes from a Germanic ja present, and ja present goes back to Proto-Indo-European ye your present. Yeah. So ye your present. Yeah. So it means actually a state. So it is pretty sure, it's pretty certain that sit is a durative. It means that in Chinese, it means that 坐着, right? But sit down is a punctual. Why? The problem is here. This is an adverb. Okay. And does anyone remember in one section we talk about density? Yeah. So I make it a little bit bigger. 大家应该还记得这个吧？这个当时花了很长时间讲这个一个词 density。好 density 的话，我们来简单的回顾一下 density 这个词是巴利语，对吧？然后它来自那个梵语的那个 desirati，and desirati it is actually causative, right? 第10类动词 this is actually so party. So we talk about density, right? Yeah. So this is party. This is party density, and density comes from desirati, right? And desirati is actually tense class verb, right? 就第10类动词就没问题，好吧？ And then 第10类动词so tense class is actually causative in Sanskrit grammar, but the meaning is of course not causative. The Buddha teaches. It does not mean Buddha let others teach. Of course not. Buddha 就是佛陀是自己传道的，佛陀他不可能自己，佛陀不是让别人传道，佛陀是自己传道，对吧？ So then this is not a causative. What is the meaning of density? It is actually an iterative. So let's check the Indo-European. So let's check the dictionary. Let's go back to this form. So if we have a Indo-European, so if we have such a structure in Indo-European languages, the meaning is actually not only causative but iterative. Iterative and causative. So if we have such a verb, it can mean causative, but also iterative. And what is the meaning iterative? Iterative means continuously repeated action. Iterative actually means repeated action, right? 这里没什么问题，对吧？好，我继续说，什么叫 repeated action? This has something to do with Aktionsart, 行为方式，对不对？就是刚才的蹦蹦跳跳是一样的，就是为什么我们要构成蹦蹦跳跳？因为蹦和跳是瞬时性的，我们重叠了一下之后，会改变它的 Aktionsart。什么叫 Aktionsart? Aktionsart 就是两个极端，一个是 punctual， 一个是，这是两个极端 ，punctual 和那个durative， 对吧？好，所以 iterative refers to the Aktionsart, right? And what is causative? Causative refers to the diathesis or transitivity, right? So it actually transitive, right? Okay, transitive. Okay. And then let's move on to sit down. So the difference between sit on, sit down, I think everyone can see. Sit down has a down, right? And down is actually an adverb. And let's go back to the case of density. In the case of density, there's a very interesting information here. It's called, if you use density, you can use density alone. It's pretty common, right? So you use density alone, but if you use density, if you use the simple verb, not causative, iterative, 就是这里是 iterative， 能明白？就是因为佛陀传道的过程是相当于不停的展示给你们，就是他重复这个过程，重复把这个法展示给你的过程。So this is a repeated action of showing, pointing out something, showing something is a repeated action. Teaching is actually a repeated action, right? It's not a causative action. Okay, and then if you use a simplex, density, this is a simple present, right? Root present. It must be used with preverb. Why? Because preverb preverbs make the verb transitive. So you put a preverb and then you can make it into a transitive verb. And this transitive meaning is sometimes connected with his Aktionsart. It is not really only transitive, but it can affect the Aktionsart of the verb. 好，我用中文讲一遍，就是说你用一个副词，就是它原来是只是 show point out， 对不对？但是你如果加了一个副词之后，它可以表示一种对象，因为副词一般是在早期梵语当中，它是和一个宾格或者是其他的一个间接主语也好等等之类的连接起来用的，所以呢，它会把一个不及物的动词变成及物动词。如果你加了一个 preverb 虽然叫前置词，但这个前置词在早期的时候它是分开来的。我们当时也举了一些例子，就是梵语当中也有很多，比如说我们刚才看到的这个词就是一个典型的例子，对吧？就是呀，就 r 是在前面的，这个 r 事实上是非常非常离得非常远，是和这个 sada 是连在一起的。Yeah, you can call it prefix. It's basically the same. Yeah, preverb or prefix. It's actually same. Yeah, prefix is also the same. Yeah. 就你加了一个前置词之后，是可以把一个非及物的动词 ，you can make an intransitive verb into a transitive verb. 为什么呢？就是你加了一个这个前置词之后啊 ，wait a minute， 就是你加了这个前置词之后，这个前置词是会那个和宾语搭配的，就它会支配一个宾语。So this preverb can, how to say that? 支配 governs the object, or it's originally constructed with objects. 就是它会和一个宾格搭配，所以的话就会就是一个动词和一个和另外一个词进行搭配了之后，它不就是一个 transitive 了，对吧 ？OK， 所以这就是，然后对俄语里面也有一种现象，它会变成完成体，对，就是说你加了一个前置词之后，它甚至会改变，就首先改变的是一个 transitive， 首先改变的它是一个及物和不及物。然后这个及物和不及物并不是只是限于及物和不及物，它甚至会改变这个词的行为方式。所以俄语里面典型的一种就是俄语里面分两种情况，一种动词有两种形式，一种叫完成体，一个叫非完成体。然后你怎么把一个动词变成完成体呢？一个很简单的方式，你就加 preverb。所以大家可以看到，当你加上一个，所以这种现象在英语当中甚至都有的，只不过隐藏的比较深，大家是没有发现的。就是这个，其实我已经跟大家讲过嘛，那个 becoming 和那个 不 common 和 common 这个是用来表示那个 transitive，这个是 transitive，right？ 这个是 transitive，这个是 intransitive， 对吧 ？common， 对吧？这样，然后呢，这个及物和不及物，事实上是和这个动词本身的那个行为方式有关系的。就像我之前就像刚才跟大家说的，就这种结构的词，它实际上有两种含义，一种是行为方式上的层面的含义，一种是及物和不及物层面的含义。所以说，你加上一个前置词，也好，对吧 ？prefix x 是可以改变它的及物和不及物性的。然后改变及物和不及物性的同时，还会改变它的行为方式。这个在俄语里面是非常常见的。OK，对，还有一种当然了，就是可以改变语义嘛，对吧？这个是完全相反的意思，对吧？好，那我们回到这个问题，所以这种情况的意思是什么呢？就是说啊，事实上添加了一个向下这个下之后呢，你事实上是把这个动词就变成一个顺时性的动词了，就是一个 sit down 的过程。因为你一旦有了 down 之后，就是大家能明白这个逻辑吧？就是向下的意思，就是说你把这个行为让它有一个变化的过程了，对吧？我是让你坐下，坐下是从上到下，对吧？从上到下，你一旦有一个明确起止点，那说明这个词就已经不是持续性动词了。持续性动词是指没有明确起止点，你不知道它什么时候开始，什么时候结束。但是呢，你一旦告诉我向下之后，就是说从上到下，就相当于你原来是站着，然后呢你要往下，对吧？原来你离椅子有点远，然后你要接近椅子，然后在这椅子上面，对吧？就是你一旦有了一个这个副词之后，介词之后，你就会改变它的Aktionsart，就是行为方式，能明白吗？就是讲到这里，这里能明白吗？OK，完全能吗？OK，好，那就好了那就好。好，然后那个我们继续讲一个就是我们继续回到汉语解释了才明白的啊。OK，好，可以，对，所以我还是需要用那个中文解释一下，对，OK，就的确英语的话，嗯，OK。OK, so okay, put it into English. So, uh, as we have seen last time about the verb deseti, it actually comes from deshayati, and deshayati is not actually causative, not causative, but actually itihative, and this go back to a Proto-Indo-European verbal structure called raw plus aye, and this construction has iterative and causative meaning. So iterative refers to the Aktionsart, so behavior kind, Aktionsart, action type. And causative refers to transitivity or yeah, transitive and intransitive. So it means that these two aspects are interrelated, 就是它们相互有关系嘛。They are closely related. Aktionsart and transitive, intransitive. Okay, and then what is the function of the preverb? Preverbs can make the intransitive verb into a transitive verb, just like the case of disati, right? Okay, and because preverb are at the very beginning constructed with objects, so this is the reason why preverb can make the intransitive verb into transitive. And as someone already pointed out, in Russian, there are actually two kinds of verbs. One is perfective, another is imperfective. So how can we build perfective verb? You need to put sometimes, right? Not always. Sometimes you can add a preverb to build a perfective. So actually, preverb can change the Aktionsart. And this is the reason why sit is durative. But if you put a adverb, so this is adverb, not preverb, but in German you put, so in German, actually, you put preverb, yeah, right? But in English, you always say sit down. But in German, it's called niedersitzen, yeah. But in English, it's called sit down, right? So actually, sit down with down, you already changed the action, Aktionsart. So this is logic. 不过你们如果觉得记不住的话也没关系，以后可能看多了之后会更加有帮助。对。It is not actually so prefix, you can add prefix into every word. So it is, so I probably can explain it a little bit. So prefix is added to verbs and nouns, yeah. But preverb is added to preverbs, right? Added to verbs. Yeah, this is pretty. Preverb means you put something before a verb, but fix means that you just put there, put in front. So the prefix can, you put the prefix before verbs or before nouns, so it's different. Yeah. OK， 如果你们明白这个的话，那我们就继续讲。OK， 所以这个有点抽象，对吧？但是希望你们能够明白。OK， and then let's talk about this verb elhomai. So if you check the dictionary, elhomai is a little bit strange because Aorist. So let's check this information. I'm not sure if we have this. It's a little bit chaotic. So let's check this dictionary. Okay, so this one is better, yeah. So let's check this dictionary. So you find this elhomai. Elhomai means to go, right? Actually, it means to go, yeah. And this verb has suppletion because, let's check it. Okay, so this is a verb. So this is present, right? And then we have a future, right? Future is here, and the aorist is here. And future is probably not really so related. So first we analyze aorist. Okay, let's make a let's make a choice. So this is two forms, right? The aorist is called elson or eluson. So which one is older, or which one is correct, historically correct? Which one is historically correct? One, elson, or two, eluson? Okay, second one. Is there any other possibilities? First one, okay. Okay, I think more people choose first one. Okay, second one. Okay. This is correct. This one is correct. Okay, why? Let's check the dictionary. So again, we need to use this dictionary. So the root means leud. Yeah. 10个俯卧撑. Okay, so this is actually sorry. So the PIE root is called H1 Leo de He. Wait a minute. Okay, so this is the root, and check it. This root is called steigen, wachsen. So like 登上或者是成长，长大或者是大概是这样的意思，或者登上登陆大概是这样的意思。So this is steigen, yeah. Okay. Okay, and then this is how to say that? This is a punctual root. So we have root aorist, right? And the present, it is. So this is a punctual root, right? So this is punctual root, and therefore no root present, right? So this is punctual root, so we do not have. So this is punctual root, so we do not have a root present, no root present. And what kind of present do we have? Check it. This is nasal present, but nasal present. What is the meaning of nasal present? Can anyone tell me? I talked about several times. We mentioned the example in Hittite, right? 就是我们讨论过赫梯语当中，就是鼻音现在时到底是什么 ？What is the meaning of what is the meaning of nasal present? 我确信大家应该知道吧？我就是至少 some of you probably know. What is the basic meaning of nasal causative? 是网络有卡了吗？还是你们在思考？没关系，没关系。OK， 讲过的还就还了。OK，let's check Hittite。没事，那个我们那个看一下教材就好了，没关系。我反正又不会罚款，你们忘记了我就再给你们看一下就是了。我这个课反正已经有人写出来了OK， 好，那我们来看一下那个Hittite。So let's check the Hittite. Take a look, find it. Les causatifs en nu, yeah. OK. Les causatifs en nu, yeah. OK. On trouve le thème nu. Quelques formes présentent la désinence et les causatifs en nu, yeah. So actually, we know the original meaning of nasal present is actually causative, yeah. OK. Check it. So 你们发现有什么好玩的东西了吗？这个词我刚才已经说过了，就是它是一个 punctual， 它是一个顺时性的动词。然后呢，它现在时变到现在时的话，它的 Aktionsart 是要变的，对不对？它怎么改变它的 Aktionsart 呢？它需要加一个infix or suffix. Here is suffix. So this is a punctual root. And how can we change the Aktionsart? You just need an infix or suffix. And this infix is a causative infix. 所以这就是再次印证了我刚才讲的话。什么话呢？就是一个动词的 Aktionsart 是和它的 transitivity 紧密相关的。就你怎么改变 你怎么改变一个词的 Aktionsart？你可以把它变成一个及物动词，及物动词就可以改变它的 Aktionsart。所以这两个东西是密切相关的，就是大家可能过去没有意识到这个问题，对吧？好，那大家可以记住，就是一个词的 Aktionsart、punctual、durative 和它的 causativity 或者是 transitivity 是密切相关的。OK， 好，如果有兴趣的朋友且有时间的朋友，你们可以去 Lift 的 index 里面找一下，我告诉你们怎么去找。你们去找一下，大家听好，这是一个作业，就是英语的话，你其实可以看刚才，刚才是这个例子嘛？刚才是这个例子，其实是可以的，对吧？这个是印欧语的一个特点，我们稍后还会再遇到。对，好，那个我现在布置一个作业，就是你们有兴趣就不限时间，你们随时可以告诉我，就是你们随时可以做，无所谓。对，这是一个自愿的 freiwillige， 就是free will freiwillige 那个作业。什么作业呢？你们去印欧语就你们在 live 这个字典里找一下，所有具有 root aorist 的动词，它有多少是构成 nasal present 的？能明白我的意思吗？就是你在字典里面找动词，然后我告诉大家怎么找，后面有一个索引，大家去是不是又有人卡出去了？我刚才听到一个人掉出去的声音，对，嗯，是不是有人掉出去了 ？OK， 好，大家看好了，后面有一个后面有一个那个索引，这索引当中呢，这索引当中告诉你那个对，好像有人掉出去了，对，掉出去有声音的，可以，我这边可以听到声音的，对，对，有一个人掉出去了，对，好，那这个作业是什么呢？就是大家去后面的索引当中看嘛，就是后面索引当中就是告诉你哪一些词根，给你看一下，嗯。给大家看一下，就是哪一些词根构成根现在时，然后呢，哪一些词根构成乌现在时，哪一些词根构成重叠现在时。好，那我想让大家做的作业是什么呢？就是大家看好了，这里大家首先看一下后面，wait a minute。好，大家看到这里有一个列表，对不对？这里列表所有的就是，呃，这里列表就是所有的跟过去时的动词，就是所有这些下面这些词根啊，它都构成跟过去时。这些词根构成跟过去时是说明什么呢？是说明这些词根的意思是瞬时性的，对吧？因为瞬时性，所以才构成跟现在时，跟过去时，对吧？呃，root aorist，所以这些词根呢都是 root aorist，都构成 root aorist，因为它们的词根的含义是瞬时的。好，然后你把这些词根挑出来，和前面和前面这个所有的列出来词根进行对比。这里是一个 nasal infix present，这个是构成鼻音现在时的词根。大家看一下有没有重合。其实我刚才已经发现一个重合了，对吧？大家看好了，这个是 beg，对不对？beg 它是构成鼻音现在时，对吧？好，然后我们再去看一下，刚才已经出现了，其实大家看好了，这里也是 beg，对不对？所以说 beg 这个词，我们就可以知道它呢跟过去时，然后现在时的时候是鼻音现在时，OK。然后还有就是我们刚才看到的这个例子，OK。对，这个是有点怎么讲呢？就是大家可能从来没有想到过的问题，或者是从来没有接触过的问题，所以我要用中文讲一下，就是第一次出现的东西。但是我如果用英语讲的话，大家可能会不太明白，对吧？OK，好，那个待会儿见，没关系。好，时间已经差不多了，我感觉我们可能今天就讲语法了。那就其实时间也差不多了，我就给大家布置一个作业，然后我们下一次，今天其实读了好多，读了好多泛语的东西， 然后还讲了一些希腊语的语法的东西。我看时间也差不多了，那我们就以这个东西就来结束吧。OK，okay. So I will explain it in English again. So I just talk about this root. So for this root, we have a root aorist, right? So this is a little bit complicated. So I just first explain in Chinese so that some of you can understand. So this is a little bit complicated. Yes. So I explain it again in English. So we just check this root, right? So this root is called geleut, and geleut has a punctual meaning. Steigen, yeah, this is a punctual meaning. You arrived somewhere, you arrived someplace. And then this is punctual meaning. So we have a root aorist. So root aorist corresponds to punctual meaning. And then how can we build a present? Present is a continuous durative action, right? How can we build it? We use a nasal suffix or nasal infix. And nasal infix, what is the meaning? It is the causative meaning. So this proves again that causativity of a verb and Aktionsart are closely related. And then I just give a homework to you. Check the whole dictionary and to find out the roots who have a root aorist and at the same time nasal present. Is it clear? So find out the root which has a root aorist and at the same time a nasal present. So this root is one example, right? And find other examples. And how can you do this? It's a convenient way. You just jump to the very end. There's an index. So index of all the reconstructed forms. So you just move first to this part. This section lists all the root aorist, and then you note down all the roots, and then check the roots with this section. So this is the section of present, nasal present, right? And then this is another example, beg. Beg, we already have seen. It has a root, it has root aorist, but nasal infix present. And geleut, we of course have it here. This is what we have seen, geleut. Okay, so this is actually the homework, but it is, how to say, voluntary homework. It's not compulsory. If you have time, if you are interested, you can find it out. You can do this homework. Okay, so this is everything for today. We haven't read any Greek text. It's a pity. And what we actually want to read this text. And this text has a name. It's called the Gortrin Code. It's you can see it's a huge inscription in Crete. It's in Crete. So the Greek used in Crete is a little bit different from Homeric Greek, and it's also archaic, and we can check the text next time. So it's talk about the civil laws, like divorce. So what is the rights granted to the woman in the case of divorce and so on. So this is, I think the content is also very interesting. Yeah. Okay, so this is everything for today. I think we can So it's not really much to summarize. We just talk about durative and punctual. It's very Indo-European linguistics. Uh, it's not the real Greek, or it's not the common Greek or Sanskrit class. Okay, so thank you very much for today's. Thank you very much for coming to today's class, and I hope you enjoy it, and have a nice weekend, and enjoy the rest of the day. OK， 不客气，不客气。OK， 好，那个大家再见。OK， 拜拜。拜拜。好，不客气。